Hello and welcome to episode number 20 of That's Awesome.tv. I'm your host Scott Abishan and I'm here with my buddy Chad here today. This episode, I told you I'm going to stray as I see fit. This is an awesome episode, not technology, it's garage technology. We're gonna do a how-to install a Rancho bumper on a 2007 Jeep Wrangler JK.
That's correct.
JK. Yeah, he's trying to turn me into a Jeep guy here. I gotta learn the lingo.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. You're gonna watch us through the whole process of the pitfalls we went through. We're recording this intro after the fact. It was kind of a 3-week process, and you'll see why and what happened. But it's gonna be great for you Jeep guys out there to learn how to put a bumper on that's a popular aftermarket part.
It is. It is one of the most inexpensive as far as the rear bumpers, but we found it turned out
pretty well.
Pretty well, with a little bit of effort.
A little bit of brute force.
Yeah.
And we got that part at wondercarparts.com. Our friends over there, great place to shop. They price match, so if you see something online and you want to get the best price guaranteed, check them out. They're local guys from Detroit. It's not scam artists. They're great customer service. Check them out. wondercarparts.com. That's where we got the part from, and I strongly urge you, if you have anything from exhaust systems to bumpers to performance parts, anything you want, check it out, wondercarparts.com.
Absolutely.
Tell Brad I sent you.
Right.
So without further ado, let's just jump right into the garage and watch us install this thing. What are we looking at?
This is a 2007 JK Wrangler.
What's missing?
The rear bumper.
Why is it missing?
The stock rear bumper.
Stock rear bumper.
The stock rear bumper is missing because we have to put a new rear bumper on there with a tire carrier.
Yeah, the footage that you see here, this thing is lifted up. This is what kind of lift kit are we talking about here? What's on it?
It's about 5 inches of suspension lift.
But what inside the tires?
And, well, normally this vehicle comes with a 255 75 17 is what the technical term is.
I'm sure the people watching this know what
it's like
that
a
means.
31-inch tire. Okay. And after the lift and some other stuff that was done to this vehicle, we went with a 37-inch tire, 37 tall, 12.5 wide, and it's with a 16-inch rim, and they're about 80 pounds. So the weight in itself is the issue.
Okay, so this door, the bracket that holds the tire, you put that big, huge tire in there, too much stress for this door.
Yep, too much stress for the hinges. So
we've got a Rancho bumper that was we got from wondercarparts.com, and you can see that it's got a big A-arm. You know, I'm showing the footage of this huge, this big, this is a big heavy bumper.
Yeah, it is. The bumper itself weighs probably 50, 60 pounds.
Yeah, and it can hold, how much weight?
Said 100 pounds.
100-pound tire, so that's, that big tire, the tire's on here?
I'd say 80. 80.
So that's really the reason that we're doing this upgrade. And, this is a pretty simple upgrade, but the problem is trust me, the directions that we're reading here, come walk with us, come with us on this installation, because this is a popular bumper, this is a popular vehicle, this is a great do-it-yourself install.
It's really one of the more inexpensive bumpers.
Yeah. So let's kind of drug through this thing. Obviously the stock bumper is gone, it's been gone for a while. Yep. And the one thing that is important, what do you got to keep off this, we found out, off this stock bumper, there's only one thing that you have to salvage.
That bolt right there.
Well, 4 of them.
4 of them.
Yeah, they come in right down at the corners here, or not in the corners, but in the bottom here.
Right on the frame rail.
Right on the frame. That's what secures the aftermarket bumper. We should probably show the bumper. You can see it's a Rancho. I don't remember what the model number is.
I don't know. I think this is the only Rancho for the JK.
Is it for the JK? Mm-hmm. You can see the model number below we've posted. But this is a really nice bumper. I mean, when you look at it, it's heavy gauge steel. It's got like a powder coat on it. It's got, I don't know what they call that coating in there, but that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. Nice. It's a really, really good finish.
And it's got a stamped Rancho name on there, and the A-arm that you saw goes right on top of there. So you can see in the corner, if you swing this around a little bit, the 2 bolts or the 2 holes in there, this slides. In fact, let's just put it on right now.
Let's do it.
Dry fit it out in here, and it's a great fit, really, all in all.
I slide it out just a little bit there. There we go.
And you can see that it is.
Well, I got my 2 bolts in here.
We left the bolts in there so we wouldn't forget them. You can see right about like that. It's a great fit. It's a nice fit. Okay, so we've dry fit this bumper on there. Well, we haven't dry fit, we actually secured it. And we did that because why?
Well, we did that because we need these holes that are in the bumper itself to line up with the frame.
So we're basically using this as the template to drill out those holes, because as we were talking about before, we have to drill, there's a hole through the top of the frame, but we also have to drill through, at least on the driver's side, through the bottom of the frame to secure this bumper on.
Correct.
And on that side we have to, the hole was big enough, but we had to, it was kind of squared off, or it was an
oval. Almost an oval hole, and it needs to be round.
Yeah, as you can see, the two pictures there that we're showing you, those are the two holes that we have to drill out. So we secured it with the 2 bolts so it was perfectly in line, and now we're just going to tap those holes or drill straight through using this as the guide itself. Okay, so we've got a 1/2 inch bit, and it's just a regular bit for steel. There's the hole that's already in this bumper is a 1/2 inch, so we're just going to drill right through it. As you can see in that picture, it was the hole, I mean, it lined up when we secured it, but it wasn't quite, there was a little bit of lip there, so we're just using this as the template. So go ahead and drill away. All right, so now that we hit the first layer, the bumper's, you know, so many inches thick, and we evened out that hole that you saw earlier, you know, at the very top. Now we've got to go all the way through the frame with that 1/2 inch bit so the bolt can secure. But the length that we need here, I've got a bit in here, or we've got a bit it's 5.5 inches. It's barely in the chuck. So you're going to need something that I think probably it's rated as 4.5 inch bit, but we've got it extended out. So you're going to need at least 5.5 inches to get through the thickness of this bumper and the frame itself to the bottom. So let's finish drilling that out. Okay, so now that we've got this side is all straight, or we've got it where it's everything, the holes are 1/2 inch all the way through. On that side, as we saw before, the holes themselves are, it's like a long hole. It's like a tube almost. So we gotta even out that flat edge that you see. We gotta even that out with the 1/2 inch bit. Again, using this as the template. So we're just gonna drill straight through and even those out.
We didn't actually drill anything on the bumper, but we used it as a template. So we were concerned that we tore up any of this finish that's on the inside, which is a really nice finish. So we don't want it to rust, so we're just going to shoot, just got some normal Rust-Oleum. We're just going to shoot that. That'll make sure you know, we get that good and coated so that later on, 3 years down the road, we don't find it rusting.
All right, so we went through the process of drilling the holes out, making them wider to accept what?
Crush sleeves.
The crush sleeves, what do those do?
These crush sleeves are really solid steel. They're a tube, and what they do is they slide into the, this is actually essentially just a box of steel. These slide in here, and it indicates on the instructions about the longer one going into the passenger side and the shorter one going into the driver's side. So after those are inserted in there, the bolt can be tightened down and it won't crush this steel box.
When we reef that down, won't crush that. All right, so now that the sleeves are in there, and we have to slide the bumper on, and when we slide the bumper on, where we drilled out those 2 holes, these sleeves, these are about, gosh, those look like an 1/8 inch or so, or something like that.
Sure.
Those sit down here and kind of fill in the gap between the...
Just like that.
Yeah. Oh, they...
Yep. Yep. Flat side goes just like that, and that fills in the section of the bumper to the frame. Just a little spacer.
So there's 2 arms that come out that actually affix the bumper to the frame. Those fill in the gap where those 2 arms are at, where we drilled through.
Correct.
So awesome. So now we're gonna, let's go ahead and slide that bumper back on.
Let's do that.
And we're gonna actually take these off for right now, I think, right?
That's right.
Let's take those off, put them there. So the bumper's back on for, again, the 30th time.
Definitely takes 2 people, though.
Yeah. It's pretty heavy. I mean, it's not crazy heavy, but it's definitely a few pounds. Okay. So now that that's in, we note that we couldn't, to get those 2 washers in, what do we realize? Or what?
You cannot, it's kind of a natural thing, you'd want to keep reinstalling these bolts, make sure everything lines up on the frame rail. But you have to be able to slightly tip this bumper, and if you just slightly tip it, just like that, then that way you can slide these in.
These 2 washers in. And I'll get a shot of one of these going in here. So those are now in line, and we can go ahead and tip this guy back in line and affix these 4 bolts. Make sure that that's good. He's got a little, like a metal worker there. I got a screwdriver. Kind of make sure everything lines up. And we can go ahead and affix the bolts back in the frame.